Because something healthy, it doesn't qualify as an addiction because it's the powerless, I can't stop, and it causes these problems, all this suffering, unmanageability. But it's me. Issue for me is I'm in denial. That's the whole issue with addiction, and that's the killer. That's gonna get me. This is taken a long time to learn so that I can what? It's that piece of paper that I use that's this size.
Welcome to Aloha Speaks, home of Malama Aloha Pono with Alexander Noman.
Aloha, Alex here, and had no idea I was gonna do this many videos, coming up on, well, close to 200, actually coming up on my 170th video, and this is the first one I don't want to do because being in my 14th year of sobriety, I'm not supposed to want to drink. And I haven't had that issue. And I'm currently doing the things I need to do after just a couple days ago, pulling into my driveway after someone didn't show up at what was to me an important appointment, an important meeting, not necessarily important to the other person. And I'm in the state of, well, I'm okay, okay, no problem. And as I'm parking, I back into my parking spot. I was visualizing that the nose of the car was pointing in the direction of going out the driveway, and at the end of the driveway, all it was a left-hand turn, a block and a half down, and then turn right at the light, and less than a block, there's the liquor store on the left-hand side. It was a visualization, and I'm like, what? I froze in the car and realized I was lying to myself that I'm fine because I was upset. I could feel it in my torso, in my belly, and in my chest. And I noticed I was holding my breath, and I froze, and I picked up my phone and I tried calling somebody and no answer. And so I scrolled through and I tried calling someone else and no answer on my phone list of other alcoholics and recovering, and tried one more, no answer. So I went, okay. So I said, all right. It's not like, okay, I'm all alone, pity party kind of thing. It's more like, what am I going to do? I got to do something. And I started slow breathing and heard my sponsor's voice. He's got 35 years and saying, this too shall pass, because the way I felt, it was not going to pass. This was going to last forever unless I had a drink or something like that. So it's like, this isn't supposed to be happening. Of course it's supposed to be happening. I'm not only an alcoholic. In chapter 3 in the book of Alcoholics Anonymous, they talk about the real alcoholic. It's like 3 or 4 times in there. Absolutely. What am I going to do? I know I have to do what they call inventory, what in Malama Aloha Pono is segment 3, the personal assessment. It can't go anywhere without what I call segment 1. But where this is coming from, this healthy addiction, came from someone with decades of sobriety said, he says, I have a healthy addiction, referring to the meetings, the 12-step meetings. And it just hit me. I need to be honest with myself, that, because it hit me, that's an oxymoron for what I have learned. Because something healthy, granted it's healthy, absolutely, that the meetings, I want to do something healthy, but to me, it doesn't qualify as an addiction. And because when it comes to step 1 in the 12 steps, or segment 1, being honest with myself, and there's that 4 agreements that it says, be impeccable with my word. And I put a parentheses S at the end of word, not about semantics though, because it includes the words that I use, as long as it's about integrity with myself. I need to be in integrity with myself, because it can end up being dangerous. Parked in my car, and it's like 14 years, or in my 14th year, and I already had 10 years, and then drank, and was out for 18. I don't have another 18 years in me. But it can be any addiction, not just alcohol, because I have multiple addictions. The issue is not just the feeling, the emotion is what it actually is, feeling the emotion. It's the denying of it. Oh, I'm fine. Because the vision still happened. Oh, it's just up, over and over. There it is. So I'm looking at this integrity thing because the topic of the next meeting was, to thine own self be true. And I'm like, yeah, right. It's on, in fact, it's right here. My 13-year, the last coin I got a few months ago, 13-year sobriety coin, could go right out the door, and it says right on it, to thine own self be true. On every single coin it says that. And it's so easy to assume I'm going to be true to myself, that I even know what that is, and lie to myself. How do I know? Because I always started lying back to that page XXVIII, in the doctor's opinion. They, that's me, they, the alcoholics, cannot differentiate the true from the false. That's the whole issue. It's right there. In step 1, we admit we are powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. Now, in Malama Aloha Pono, instead of unmanageable, I use the word suffering. That's what the unmanageability is. It's suffering for me and suffering for others. But it's that unmanageability. So what people talk about is it's a 2-part step. It's the powerless, I can't stop, and it causes these problems, all this suffering, unmanageability. But it's not. I mean, I've been living this. The issue is that first word, or the first 2, it says we admit, but it's me. I'm the only one in the room at the time. It's me admitting. It's issue for me is I'm in denial. It's a 3-part. That's the whole issue with addiction, is it's 3. I'm only speaking for myself. This has taken a long time to learn that I am the king of denial. And that's the killer. That's going to get me down the driveway, turning left, and then right, and then pull in on the left there. And my sister, when I told my sister, she says, "You're being negative." And I'm like, that's not negative. It's admitting so that I can what? It's that piece of paper that I use that's this size. And so I have done it, and I'm not going to show. I'm just going to go. It's like did I show? It's full of ink. Anyway, it's done. I'll say that at the top, it says the name of the person was a no-show for the meeting. And then it says, this is from page 65. Even though it's for the 4th step, I use it for my 10th step, which is exactly segment 3 from Malama Aloha Pono. It says what it affects: my self-esteem, security, fear, pride, personal relations. It all comes from page 65. Then it just answers the 4 questions. I put down, where am I being selfish? And then I have 2 little phrases. Where am I being dishonest? And it has 2 longer phrases, long ones. And where am I being self-seeking? The pride. And it's, of course, I put, of course, I am better than this person, above, writer, do not need that person, and it's all for the purpose of ending the relationship. I am calling my own number. And then the fear, calling out the fear. After answering those 4, the last one squeezed into the bottom, where am I to blame? And it's just so easy to write that in, exactly where I am to blame. Pulls the plug on the whole show, takes the, now I can to thine own self be true. And that, for me, for someone who is inflicted to the degree that I am, I don't know any other way to thine own self be true. I just don't know. So that I can be in a place for that segment 6 or step 11, which is that early morning time inside. That, and I say what Prem Rawat gave me that ability. I'm not getting into it. I'm just saying what a it seems like it's not fun, and it's not about fun like that, but it is about joy and peace. Until next time, aloha.